their polls and putting their polls out there. We know posters like Benefsin and Co have also been making their prediction and doing their research and putting out their polls. So we want to talk about these things here on the show today as well. And fuel prices also just keep going up. Just keep going up. Petrol is now, a liter of petrol is now well over 15 Ghana cedis. Yeah, that's how much we're buying a liter of petrols. And, one would have imagined that policies like the gold for oil policy, among other things, would have helped us to mitigate, the effect of the rising cost of fuel. But that doesn't seem to be the case. The fuel price just seems to be going up. And also, just yesterday, or was it the day before, everybody was in anticipation that the Supreme Court was going to rule on injunction applications. There are injunction applications against the anti-LGBTQ bill, which is seeking to stop Parliament from transmitting the bill to the president. So Dr. Amanda Odoy and Richard Delaskai went to court on some of these issues, and they also applied for an injunction that Parliament be stopped from transmitting the bill to the president. Now, the Supreme Court said that, yes, they are going to defer their ruling until the substantive matters are heard. So the injunction application, which we thought there was going to be a ruling on, the judges, in their wisdom, say that we are not going to grant the injunction, or we are not going to uphold the injunction. Or should I say, we are not going to uphold the injunction or grant the injunction. We are going to wait. When we deal with a substantive matter, then we'll also add the ruling on the injunction to it. That is what the Supreme Court has said. So these are some of the issues that have been going on, and my guests are seated here in the studio. Mr. Kwame Jantwa is here. Mr. Kwame Jantwa is a member of the Convention People's Party. He's a legal practitioner as well. Mr. Jantwa, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. I don't normally see you in this seat.
Well, today you are seeing me in it.
You have transitioned. We're okay. We are breathing. Could be better, but hey, life is okay.
Life is okay.
And you? Is life okay for you?
I can't complain.
So far as you're alive, so far as you're breathing, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Make the best out of any situation that confronts you. So make the best out of it.
So when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, right? Yeah, so we're making lemonade.
When life gives you...
When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
When life gives you poison, what do you make?
That's when you have to go and look for anti-poison. Or when life gives you poison, don't take it.
Life is, so far as you're living, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We should try and think more of the positive than the negative.
Yeah.
Have a positive mindset all the time, at any given time. No matter how challenging or difficult it is, everything is for a season. So,
all right.
We move on.
And George Ayisi is also here in the studio. It's been a while since I saw George Ayisi. He's Director of Communications for the National Disaster Management Organization. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Lantam.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
And where have you been hiding?
I've been around. I've been around, still working for NADMO, Party and Country.
Party and Country.
NADMO,
how
Party
is the week?
And Country.
And how is the week going?
We're on. It's very tedious.
Is that the line you take? NADMO, Party and Country.
No.
Yeah.
Isn't it country first?
It's all country. All is for country.
So country comes on top.
Well, he works
before
for NADMO,
the others.
So NADMO first, because that's where his immediate employment is.
If there's no country, there's no NADMO. There's no country, there's no party.
Yes, but for God and country, it's always said that way.
It's not everybody who works for God and country. It's not everybody.
And then for party,
Not everybody.
because the new patriotic party says that the elephant is a winning symbol,
Yes.
and they have won to save Ghana.
Yes.
Oh, that's not what you. Is that not what is in the song?
Yes, that's what's in the song.
That the elephant is a winning symbol,
Yeah.
and you have won to save Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the history of that? Where did that song come from?
That's for another day.
That's for another day.
That's our anthem.
But do you believe it?
That's
Do you
yes,
believe
I
it?
believe it.
That
Yes,
you've
that's
you
our-
won to save
Yeah,
Ghana?
we
He won't be in the
election
party
to
if he
save
didn't
Mother
believe it.
Ghana.
Okay.
He won't be there.
So are you saving Ghana now?
Yes, we are.
How are
Formulating
you
policies and
how are you
programs that
saving
will
Ghana?
be
He
rolled
would
out
have
for the
joined.
Ghanaian
He would have
people.
joined the NDC
So
if he didn't believe it.
It is. Yeah, the future of Ghana, we are working
So Ghana is
on
being
that.
saved.
Yes.
Is Ghana better off than it was before?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
There are challenges, but I think we're better off. If we can construct over 12,830 kilometers of good roads, and free SHS is benefited
Look at
over
the roads in
1.4,
Accra.
moved from 800,000 to 1.4 million beneficiaries. Okay, people these days, you hardly, when you want a house help, it's difficult because everybody is going to school. That is telling you a good futuristic policies that this government is put in place. Let's hope for the future. Let's hope for the future. And so I'm very upbeat. Vehicle assembling plants, about 8 of them up and running, and giving jobs to people. Yesterday, the president commissioned one district, one factory in Adansi. And said about 67,000 people are going to get jobs in all the Agenda 111 hospitals when completed. That is futuristic for this country. Nurses will be trained and they'll get jobs to do. Health administrators will get jobs to do. Lab assistants will get jobs to do. Okay, they're futuristic. One D1F is up and going.
Right.
Okay, so that is hope for the country.
So the MPP is saving Ghana.
Yes, we are saving Ghana.
Right.
There are difficulties, but hey, that doesn't mean you're going to have a smooth sailing. There'll be ups and downs,
Right.
drawing the normal curves. You know, it goes up and down. So together, we'll build a better future for our country and our people.
Well, thank you very much, Georgia. You see, Honorable Daniel Kwesi Ashiama is here in the studio. He's former member of parliament for the Buemu constituency, of course, a member of the NDC. Akatamanso, the umbrella family,
Yeah,
the comrades.
yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm alive. I'm managing.
Aren't we all? Everybody's
I'm
well, the
alive.
MPP have won to save Ghana. They are saving Ghana, so you shouldn't be worried.
By their own rendition. They get you right. By their own rendition. They get you right. You know, if you don't like the air condition and you are driving in town and you didn't put on the air condition, you think everybody don't like air condition. So it is by their own rendition. Because as a nation, you must have the basis of saying that things are good or bad. Do you get me right?
Yeah.
You must have a basis. What are the bases? What are the bases?
Well, he mentioned some of them. 12,000 kilometers of roads, Agenda
I'm sitting down
111,
here, as I'm sitting down here,
all of those things.
even if we talk about roads,
Yes.
when somebody mentioned that, let him give you the locations. I can mention to you during John Dramani Mahama time.
Over to Jessica, his
Please,
constituency.
please. I came here, I even greeted you, you didn't respond because you are talking, so it's okay. In Accra here, we can talk about from 37 roundabout to T Junction, Labadi, La Palm, Royal Beach. I can talk from Bema Camp through the East Airport to the Flower Port by Mahama. I can talk about that flyover. I can talk from American House, the double lane, through to Adenta. I can talk about it. Now, if somebody is only mentioning figures to you and not giving you, somebody will mention 10,000, mention 3,000, mention this, and not giving you specific locations, because money has been expended. The nation's money has been expended. So if you don't have the basis of measurement and somebody is just throwing figures in the air, then you realize that the person is not trying to tell you the truth.
So is that what it is? The 12,000 kilometers of roads that the president says
Yes, you should be asking them to
constructed?
give you the locations to see whether you can get.
Well,
10,000.
he mentioned one. He said one is in your constituency.
How
That's
many
what
kilometers?
George AC said.
From
He said from Jasika
I
to-
said from Hohwe, from Santro Kofi to Jasika.
Yeah.
It's not up to 40 kilometers. Not at all. Even 30 is not up to. Do you get me right? What is the length of the whole Eastern Corridor? That is what you should be looking. Listen, they are mentioning 10,000. What is the length of the whole Eastern Corridor? Because from Accra, Temamotowi, to Hohwe is 225 kilometers from Temamuto roundabout.
Yeah.
To Hohwe is Ogbivegbe.
Yeah.
Is 225 kilometers. Now somebody is telling you 10,000 kilometers.
12,830.
Somebody is telling you that.
They said 12,000. They say 12,000.
Yes, somebody is telling you that.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you this distance. Once you know Hohwe from Temamuto roundabout is 225 kilometers. And somebody is giving you 12,000. You should ask of the
So
locations.
Ghana is Eastern Corridor.
So the person should give you the locations. Do you get it right? Because people who are on the seat, we have a budget every year. And the money that you have taken, do you get it right? You tell us what you are going to use the money for, isn't it? So why are you mentioning 10,000 kilometers of road without locations? Because as I'm sitting down here, from Circle through to UTC, it was, you know, first it was double lane, cars go, cars go.
Yeah.
It was Rollins who stopped that. He did a road. Do you get it right? Omampeni Kufo from Tetekwashi towards Medina. Do you get it right? So, as a nation, what we talk about accountability is give me facts, figures, location. That is how we can monitor what you have done.
Right.
Anton, that's the document.
Because-
It's parliamentary document.
Because, look, Amakwata, Parliament challenged him to give. They challenged him on the floor that what you have given to His Excellency is not correct. Yes. And this is the problem that we have. When the government have succeeded in squandering your money, then they put anything there to make up for that money that they have taken. And that is very, very pathetic. If Ghana is okay today, my brother, what are the people saying? What are they, not we politicians,
What are the people saying?
what are the people saying?
And, you know, let's get right on into it, you know, really, with an international research firm, international research and data firm, Fish Solutions. I'm pretty sure you've heard of them. They are predicting a win for John Mahama and the NDC in the 2024 general elections. The London-based firm, which has been quite consistent with its forecastings last year, argues that 54% of respondents surveyed tipped the former president as the winner of the upcoming presidential election. And Fish Solutions, in its mid-year review for Sub-Saharan Africa, is explaining that the current state of the economy will play a significant role in the choice of voters on December 7. I mean, surely this must give you some confidence, Honorable, that the NDC is on course to return. Are you taking consolation in this prediction made by Fish Solutions? There are
Before-
other polls like Global Info Analytics and Co who are also
Before
putting you
a
ahead.
consolation,
Yes.
the question is NDC in power?
No.
So why is somebody who is not in power is being tipped that you win? What are the people saying? And why are the people saying that? These are the issues we should be interrogating. Because Ghanaians, whether they've been to school or not, they know environment in which they have been and in which they are today. That is it. Our fish people or fish in Ghana, they are monitoring. What are they monitoring? We should be asking questions. And why are they saying so? Why they've interviewed Ghanaians and the Ghanaians are saying this, they're saying this. Why are they saying so? Because in any case, a government that came and borrowed 538 billion should have done better, irrespective of inflation, than a government that has borrowed or left a debt of 111 billion.
Dollars.
Ghana cedis, in
Okay.
terms of debt, money is borrowed.
111. In which record?
Yes, Atamios and Mahama,
In which record?
111 billion. Then when you add the what? The one Omampeni Kufo left, 9 billion, how much will you get? You get 120 billion.
Yes.
Is that not correct?
120 billion, yes.
Is that not what we left?
120 billion CDs.
Okay.
Yes.
22 billion. That's the record.
Okay. So if it is like this, why is it that the one who has taken more,
$21 billion.
the one who has taken more money, is not being tipped to win the election? Because economy is all about money, bread and butter issues. That is what it is. So it is not the making about the NDC. But everybody, even the ghosts in this country, can tell you that Mahama have performed than Nanado's government. That is what it is.
Well, we're saying the history of Ghana, Nanado's government is the best in the history of Ghana.
Yes. On what basis? That is the look. Today I want us to do intellectual discussions. On what basis? Do you take inflation? Do you take exchange rate? Do you take debt to GDP? What are we talking about? We should be talking to intellectuals. Don't be talking to my brother who is a Panwentapa and be deceiving him. And that is what MPP is good at, deceiving people. Bring the money that you have borrowed and let us look at it. And even if you don't bring the money, look at some of the things they have done. Do you think Fitch will say that taking $58 million to dig a hole without a cathedral is the best way to lead a nation? Do you think Fitch will say that Kenofurata on a throne, 52.5 billion, has been transferred into unknown source, is the best way to manage the economy? What is the unemployment rate in 2016? What it is today? These are the fundamentals that we should look at. If we leave unemployment rate at 8% of the employable population, and today is 14.7. What are you telling me? What are you telling me? It is only the person who don't want to use the what? The fundamentals to monitor the economy that will tell you that all is well. Now, look at the 52.5 billion I was talking about. Now, the Bank of Ghana structure that is standing here, they use $250 million, okay? Now, if you exchange it by the exchange rate of 15 cedis, you get 3,750 million Ghana cedis. Do you get it right? Now, factor it into 52.5 billion that has been transferred into unknown source. You get 14 of this structure. 14. Then tell me, does this make sense? That you have a government that is sitting on our coffers and coming to tell you that 52.5 billion has been transferred into unknown source. So I'll take my brothers and sisters who maybe cannot do analysis and take them and show them this structure. The structure, the number of floors. One will give you maybe about 30, the other one will give you about 15. These two structures, huge structures. The cost of it, each is 3,750 million. And when you factor it into 52.5, you get 14 of these structures. A government on the seat come and tell you that this money has been transferred into unknown source. And you think that is right. The same government has printed 77 billion in 2 years for Nanado. For Nanado. Whilst they were printing the money, the minority blew the alarm. The very people said they were telling lies. Adongo was telling lies. Atu was telling lies. Haruna was telling lies. Aveji was telling lies. Now later you come to show us that you have printed money. Who do you expect me to call you? Do you get it right? So, because if you are going to print so much, there should be parliamentary participation and approvals to ensure that that money that you are going to expend, you expend it well in the name of the people. Now, you didn't tell the people. You just come and tell them that I have expended 77 billion in 2 years. Put this structure into it and look at the number or the quantum of infrastructure that we are losing in terms of that.
So you believe because of all of this, the people of Ghana see and they will choose John Mahama, like Fish Solutions is saying, over the MPP anyway, because of the reasons that
Ghanaians live in an economy and they look at how things are going on.
Right.
If tomatoes today is scaring your wife in the market and somebody will come and tell you that things are better, that person will tell you who is telling me that things are better. That no.
George, let me bring you back into the conversation and I'll come to Mr. Jantwa. It's not looking good for you according to the predictions that are coming up.
No problem with that.
Fitch
at all.
Solutions says that,
we
you
have
know,
4 months to election.
The NDC
right?
is in a comfortable
August,
lead.
September, October, November.
What can you do in 4 months?
Aye.
What can you do in 4
A
months
lot
to,
in
if this is what the polls
politics-
are saying, and there are
in
many other
politics-
polls which say that the MPP is not looking good. So in 4 months, what can the
There's
government
been
do?
other polls that shows
4
our
months to
candidate
convince-
is leading.
Which poll is that?
Samuel Sapon's research. We've seen it. Okay, so no problem. It's part. And let me tell you something. My wife, when she was going to contest as member of parliament,
Yes.
I commissioned a friend who is a PhD, okay, to do a survey for us in the constituency. When the survey was done, the conclusion was that my wife was behind the lead candidate, Dr. Abani, by 22 percentage points. Okay? So we sat around the table and we drew a strategy to counter it. I knew what the issue. When the report came, I sat down, went through, engaged him, and we got all that we needed to resolve it. So at points, we realized my image and the financier's image were what were holding her up. And so we needed to win off and let her build her own image with the people. When we finished, we beat the leading candidates. My wife then became the party's candidate and became the member of parliament.
Mabraisi.
So, yes. So that is surveys. You see, you don't brush it aside. I don't do that. I told you, I believe in statistics and data. I believe in surveys. Okay, maybe it's because of my orientation and training as a mathematics person. Okay, I believe in what they say. They are scientific. And so you ignore them at your own peril. Fitch is come. Global Info Analytics. Last time, myself and Council were on the program, some CDD research that we were discussing on Africa.
Yeah.
And we always take them serious. So we have.
So you are taking this seriously?
Very serious. The Fitch solution. Yeah, but we believe
Do
that.
you get worried?
No.
That you are not.
We're not.
You're not in a comfortable lead.
No. It makes you work harder. Look, when our candidate got to the grounds and started campaign, see what happened when you went the first round in the 16 regions. Fantastic response. He started the second one again in the northern parts of the country, and I tell you, it's 3 times what he was receiving the first time. I'm telling you, the 2 candidates have been in power. John Mahama has been president before. He asked, if you are vice president, do what you say you will do. Then we asked, but you said you didn't have a job for the Ghanaian youth. Graduate Unemployment Association was under him. Okay? He said he wasn't a magician to give them jobs. Now, is he a magician? And we have said that we have worked. He's saying we should show the works. I'm telling him, he's former national chairman.
So what do you have to show for it? All the money that you've borrowed.
Parliamentary document.
All the money that you've borrowed.
Yes.
With Ghana's
Look,
debt stock in excess of 500 billion.
Don't worry. Let me show you.
What has the money been used
for? You see, the time value of money is very important.
You know, and
they borrowed,
and
President Kufuor borrowed $8 billion. They borrowed 21 billion when they were leaving. Our debt had moved from 8 billion to 29 billion.
And where is it now? From that 29 billion, where is it now?
Who?
Where is it now? From that 29 billion, where is it now?
I'm doing my assessment and I've given you Kufuor. I've come to them.
Okay,
so I'm getting to our point.
Okay.
Okay, so it moved from 8 to 29, which means the NDC Mills Mahama had borrowed $21 billion. And now it is $51 billion. What does it mean? It means we have added $22 billion. 21 and 22 billion. And check the phenomenal achievement. Free SHS was not there under them. They started what? Progressive free SHS.
Yes.
38 CDs. Check the budget. 120.2 million that was given to about 350,000 students. They didn't even pay. I was teaching the progressive district. Students were getting a bill of 420 CDs, and you pay 38 CDs, and that is free education. How many students went to school because of their progressive free education? We can tell you the number of students who have gone to school because of the free education, the universal free education we implement. Okay?
And now, it's facing all kinds of challenges.
Of course, there'll be challenges.
Food supplies.
I've said it. Osajifo, the great Osajifo himself, started it in the northern parts. They were going to school under trees. They were under trees. And one person, Professor D.D. Kupoli, former Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, a beneficiary of the Osagyefo for policy. He rose to become a Vice Chancellor. There are a lot of people who are going to rise in the next 10 years to positions in this country and outside because of these opportunities.
Because of free SHS.
Because of the opportunity. Because I know a guy who had opportunity to go to secondary school in 1984. Okay? There was government scholarship waiting for him. His father couldn't pay 60 pesos. Then 6,000. He couldn't enter the school because he had to pay admission fee to go in. Then he benefits from the scholarship, full scholarship. He couldn't pay, so he lost out. Today, he's struggling. Okay? He calls me from time to time. That is, you see, he wished he were that this time was when he had that opportunity. So please.
So you believe Ghanaians are seeing all of this and
Of
vote
course,
for the MV?
of course.
What
See,
about the economy?
there's
Because Fish Solutions
there's
also says that the
economic
economy
challenge,
will play, you know,
Of course,
a
we
big
are
factor.
not discounting that. We
Yes.
are not discounting
So
that.
how have you managed? How have you managed the economy?
When Mills was leaving and JM was taking office, inflation was around 8% thereabout. He moved it up. He didn't bring it down. When he was leaving, it was 15.4.
And what is it now?
You got it.
And what is it now?
It went to up to 54.
And what is it now?
And it's come to 23.
Yeah, it's still
it
high.
tells you we can go and bring it down. We have that propensity and capacity.
Well, should it
You
even
get
go
it?
there in the first
And there's
place?
a global challenge.
So 24 is good? 24,
No,
24 is good?
no.
You're
but
happy about
tells
it?
you there's a global challenge. It wasn't because we're incompetent. It's because there was a challenge. And I tell you, he was talking about, I don't know what this 52 billion he's talking about. I don't know. But I know for what they are talking as printing and co. Let me tell you what. When the debt crisis hits, all people who had investment in, foreign people who had investment in Ghana were withdrawing their investments. Okay? And so when they take it out, it is incumbent on the Bank of Ghana to take those things. You don't allow the person to take it away or all that. It affects the country's credit ratings and co. So the Bank of Ghana must buy it out. That is what it is. So you must take that investment as a country. You don't, that individual investor, so that they take their money and go away. Bank of Ghana is compelled, mandatory to take it. And those were the things that you had to do. What is the essence of a central bank if in times of crisis you cannot rise up to protect the country? What's the essence of that?
Allow me to finish this point, Mr. Jantua.
When
Yes.
I'm going to the university
Yes.
and the university puts a caveat in there, okay, that I've got admission.
Yes.
I can go in without paying and I'll pay later. At the time of entry, if I had to pay, will I be able to go in?
No.
What are we talking about? What is he talking about?
The cost of money will be
What is he talking about?
cost of
A
money
seasoned
will be
lawyer. What is he talking
the
about?
cost of money will be high.
Let's get serious in these analysis.
Please.
Huh?
But are we not paying for it?
At the time when, if they had asked
are we-
people
are we
to
not
pay,
paying for it?
people, the washing of the hands and co wouldn't have been efficient. I'm
Please,
telling
if
you.
you'd
have
Because
it
people were
better,
going to
we
be
won't have
buying
needed-
for water.
So why didn't you tell us I will pay for it later?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Why did you
I don't
tell
know.
us?
And tell us
When
that it's
they
free.
said
Tell us.
COVID, you have to build
And tell
the
us that it's
economy
free.
Why did you tell
back.
us?
He said all of us, we have to build back the economy.
Stop
Okay?
it.
So
Stop it.
we needed to do that. What I'm saying, is it factual or it's not factual?
Stop it.
I've said it's factual.
Right.
You can disagree with me. I ain't got a shit about that.
Mr. Mr.
I'm
Issy,
gonna
please.
shit about
Mr.
that.
Issy, please watch your words. Watch your words. Some words are not allowed. Please, you
You
can't
know
say
you're
that.
talking to me.
You can't say that.
Please.
You can't say that. Please take it back. Please apologize to our listeners.
That's
No,
not
no,
my
no,
business.
George.
I
Please
disagree with you. You
apologize.
just insult me,
Please
George.
apologize, Mr. Jantua. Calm down. Your mic is off. Your mic is off. Your mic is off. Your mics are off. Mr. Issy, please apologize to our listeners for using that word.
That
Please.
I don't take. No, but
Please
he's so
apologize.
angry.
No.
As far as I'm concerned,
Mr. Issy. Mr. Issy. Issy,
you have patience,
hold on,
somebody is
hold on.
making submission and you can't sit
Hold
down
on,
and take notes.
hold on,
And you are patient.
hold on, hold on.
You are patient.
Mr. Issy, let's do this. Let's do this in a very decorous manner.
Did what?
Let's do this in a decorous manner. Mr. Jantua, I will come to you. I've put your microphones off. Your microphone. So all the noise you are making is coming into my microphone. Please calm down. Mr. AC, please apologize to our listeners for using that word. Please.
That I don't take a shit about.
Please
that.
apologize. We don't. It's not allowed. It's not radio friendly. It's not radio friendly.
I withdraw that.
So
I'm sorry
please, no,
for that.
apologize to
Thank
the
you.
listeners.
I'm sorry for that. That's all.
Thank you very much. Finish your submission.
Yeah, so that is the issue. Huh? Issues that bring financial and co. That is how we do economic management. You need to hold the economy together. That's why the president said we know how to bring back the economy, but we don't know how to bring back dead people. Why did he say that? There were crises. People talk about Cote d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, and co. These countries have their central bank in France. Go check Nigeria. See what is happening in Nigeria recently. Go and check. They've also been hit. So please, we are not perturbed about these fake solutions, whatever.
Right.
We accept it. We will still continue to work. We are very confident our candidate is selling himself strong. And Ghanaians will buy into that.
Okay.
And the election day, we'll see the results.
All right. Mr.
Sorry
Jantua.
for the use of that. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you very much for the apology.
And documents are here.
Mr. Jantua, let me bring you into the conversation now.
His real character came out today. His real character came out today.
what is your
I
real
don't
character?
know George to be that kind of
What
person.
is your real
I don't know
character?
I don't know what triggered him to be using that kind of words. He's not that kind of a human being. So please don't do that because it's not of you. Please, you're more out of a lot of MPP people. You are more understanding than most of them. So please don't do that. It's not right. It has been said, that economic crisis, corruption, and its mismanagement is what is breeding anger and dissatisfaction, especially among the active population. In there.
The
What am I-
Afrobarometer report.
Did they not say it?
For 2024.
Did they not say it?
Yes.
Is there no paperwork? So what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Yes, they might have spent money. They might have brought out good policies, but they could have done better. They could have done better with the monies they've got. 200 million, isn't it in a hole? Isn't it in a hole? 12 million. Pualugu. Where is it? Where have we seen? What did they tell us? What do you call it? In the north. One district, one what?
One village, one dam.
One village, one dam. Where is it? Some of the policies they brought us were good. Have they been able? Have they been able? The challenge with this government is implementation. That's the challenge. And they tell us as if it's only Ghana who went through COVID. Are we still not paying COVID levy?
We are.
What is it being used for? Have they been able to tell us? So they can shout on top of whatever tree they want to shout on top of. 7 December, we'll decide whether it's MPP going, whether it's NDC going, whether it's Shematin going, whether it is, what do you call it, Cheddar going. 7 December, will tell. Me, sitting here, I won't be able to tell. The Ghanaian people themselves, will look in their pocket and see whether this government has delivered the promises they gave us. And one of the big challenges this government has is the kind of promises that we're giving Ghanaians. Have they been able to achieve it? Have they? Yeah, you might say, yes, we've done this. We built, what do you call it? We built it, we built roads. Is that what does the Ghanaian feel that? Does the Ghanaian feel that it is true for them? Look, drive around Accra. Drive around Accra and tell me, long time you have a car, right? You drive from your house
Yes.
to office all the time. How many potholes do you encounter?
Plenty.
Plenty. And you say you've built 12,000 what? Roads.
Well, very soon there'll be an app where you can, use to
No problem.
report the potholes.
No problem.
As announced by the
problem.
the roads minister.
Let them dance around this, their so-called
There's an app,
achievements.
you take pictures.
7th
you
December
report.
would decide. 7th December will decide. Accra is part of Ghana. And Accra is the capital city. They told us that they would turn Accra into what? Has it happened? Has it happened? The promises that
cleaner
they made,
city.
Is it clean?
No, it is not.
Okay, so let them dance around. 7 December will decide. And if what?
You are enjoying 110.
What 110 premium? Oh please. What's the price of fuel today? What's the price of electricity today? What's the price of water today? Do we get 24-hour water supply in this country? The galamsey that is killing us, what have they done about it? Please. Let them toy with themselves. Let them fumble their fingers.
So do you believe
7 December will come and we will see.
Do you believe the MPP is going into opposition, like Fitch is predicting?
It is not me who will decide. Ghanaians will decide. Ghanaians will decide. Fitch have done their analysis.
Yes.
Fitch says that so far as they are concerned, it looks as if the NDC would win. That is their analysis. For me, agroniform, what do Ghanaians think? Polls have gone awry. Polls can go awry. But Fitch, all their predictions they've made, have they come true through the years?
By and large.
By and large, it has. But this depends on Ghanaians. It depends, for me, it's Ghanaians. Let's walk the streets. Let's look. Let's one Friday. Let's move this program to Makola. Let's have this program in Makola, and let's interview people as we are doing the program. Let people come and talk, and you will listen. You will hear whether it's good or whether it's bad. You will see. So 7 December will decide. Come 7 December, we'll decide.
You want the government
But
out?
unfortunately,
You want the government out?
Me,
Yes.
I'm looking for a government that will build this nation. That's the most important thing for me. But if it so happens that the MPP loses the election, then the detriment is on President Akufo-Addo's head. The detriment is on President Akufo-Addo's head. Why? You came with goodwill, massive goodwill. At the election, it was what? 1 million votes. You won by 1 million votes.
That was in 2016.
2016. 2020, you cut it in half to what? 500,000. And then 2024, your party is out of power.
Well, he's done his 8-year term.
I said, but if you do your 8-year term, you need to be able to make sure that your party wins the next election. And I'm saying, if they don't win.
But historically, I mean, apart from John Mahama, historically, every president since the Fourth Republic has had 8 years. Even the NDC government had 8 years of Mills and
can
Mahama.
change if the people feel that you've done a good job. If the people feel you've done a good job, things can change. So if you now come and 2024 you don't win, have you been incompetent or have you been what? Have you been incompetent or have you been what? So let's see. Me, I'm looking at 7th December. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anybody else's poll. 7th December will decide whether you win or you lose. Period.
Honorable, let me come back to you, and we'll dovetail into the conversation about fuel price hikes because it doesn't seem to be going down. I mean, fuel prices have risen in the last couple of days to well above 15 Ghana cedis a litre for petrol and for diesel.
Yeah, today is the first time for me meeting you. And in the morning, too, I don't think I greet my listeners. So I greet them now. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, our mother, Prof. Nana Fokwajima, and yourself. But your name. Give me your name for everybody to hear. Chief. Chief, give me your name.
Lantam.
Give me your name.
Lantam.
Okay. You see, the reason why we have education is that you teach people. Whilst you teach, time is going. And when the time comes, we can reference it to, or reference to what you taught us in class. Oh, the time I was in class. Now, if fuel prices are still going high, and somebody said yesterday that when the fundamentals are weak, exchange rate will expose you. The fundamentals. Lantam, in this nation today, every government that had been in power and is on power or will come to power should know that management of economy is hydra-headed. So many ways. And it is the job of that sitting government to ensure that the resources of the state are managed in such a way that you can take care of this hydra-headed responsibility, economic responsibility. That is what we should be doing. Today, fuel prices are going up. Has there been a fund that has been created that in times of difficulties, maybe we can pull a surprise for the citizenry? Yes. Where is ESLA today? It has been created. Where is it?
Well, it was used.
It was used.
Yes, it was mortgaged in the interest of the country. That's what they
so
say.
don't say it was used. They use it as a guarantee for a loan.
Yes.
What did they use that money for? These are the things. So when somebody is standing on the platform, oh, haven't he done this? We must take you to the intellectual classroom. What did you use that money for? If you come as a government and all the funds that has been created, you use it as a guarantee for loan. Napo came in. Honorable Matopoku Prempe, the time he was educational minister, I was in parliament.
Yeah.
We've granted him $1.5 billion. We gave him the approval. Why should students be crying that they don't have food to eat? Why should there be infrastructure deficit? These are the issues people are looking at. I voted for that they should give it to him. Because our children, the future leaders of this country, need better education. We've given you that. So you use Get Fund as a collateral for that. Now the food, students are crying. The infrastructure, they are crying. So don't I have the right to ask that 1.5 billion in the history of this country that you have taken, what do you use the money for?
Well, free tuition fees, free feeding, free
Didn't
uniforms,
you see students holding plates?
free boarding fees.
Didn't you see
all of that
the food suppliers?
for the free SHS?
No, didn't you see food suppliers demonstrating, I think last year?
Even now, there are agitations that, some of them have not been paid. They are owed in excess
it
of...
means you are very incompetent in managing the resources. Because what type of analysis have you made? And you went in for the 1.5 billion. That today, we are not getting such services provided. What did you do? These are the questions. You see, Fitch does not understand Trio. It doesn't understand my language, Boehm. Do you get it right? But what you've asked and they've given to you and how you manage it and listening to the people, that is what they put together to give you their what? Their pool's results. That is what it is. Fuel is going up today. And once fuel has gone up, everything will go up. Because everybody who goes to and fro to your workplace, to your business place, you will take a car. Even if you not join Trotro, you buy fuel, isn't it? The person who goes out there to bring Gary to Accra will take a car. And the driver will say that because the fuel prices has been increased, yesterday I collected a bag of Gary, maybe 20 cedis. Today is going to be 25. What will you say? So NPP ought to know that if you don't manage the fundamentals well, this is what will be the end result.
Right.
And every decision taken by the government has a gestation period. And so that is why we are saying that NPP should stand on the tallest tree or tallest mountain in this country. Whatever good ideas you have and you couldn't deliver within these 7.5 years, you can't deliver in 6 months or 4 months. It is not a soothsaying.
Right.
Because I have been in parliament, or you are a Ghanaian too. Do you get it right?
Yeah.
Why is it that up to now, the time that they've given for Agenda 111 has elapsed? Why? The gestation period, even the structures are not completed. And I want to put it on record here too, that if NPP is able to commission only 10 of 100 of 11 Agenda 111, I will stop campaigning. I will stop.
You are saying this here?
Yes, I've said it elsewhere, and I am saying it here.
Honorable Ashama, you are
Daniel
saying this.
Kwesi Ashama.
Daniel
Because,
Kwesi Ashama, you are saying this.
Yes, because, I'm sure you have built before. If you build a house, the structure and the roofing is nothing. Now that you are coming for the tiles, now that you are coming for the window, now that you are coming for plastering, now that you are coming for electrical, now that you are coming for plumbing works, that has not been done. Now, where is the equipment that you have imported? Because you have to import the equipment by Parliament giving you that what?
So you're saying
financial support.
Informers won't even see up to 10 111 hospitals.
I said, this is what I'm saying. I've said it in all the radio stations.
You stop campaigning.
Yes. If they have been able to commission 10, that you see doctors working, patients going, do you get it right? I'll stop campaigning.
Okay.
Because the gestation period cannot have.
All right. George.
And we are all, just let me learn.
Yes.
And we are all Ghanaians, educated Ghanaians. Whether you've been to school or not, you have that common sense. That I praise Ghanaians for that. So the fuel price have actually put everything haywire. You hear that the trotro drivers saying that they want to increase the fares. Now, what about the salaries? I rest my case.
Mr. Isi, why are the fuel prices still going up? We thought there was gold for oil, which is supposed to help us deal, with getting fuel and the fuel prices and all of that. And when fuel prices go up, it affects everything.
Of course.
And the fuel prices just keep on going up. And you've heard, the sentiments of Honorable Ashiyama here about, the management of things.
Yes.
Such that fuel prices will not go up, which you seemingly have not been able to do.
Put in a lot of measures. But interestingly, I'm surprised that a former member of parliament doesn't know what the 1.5 billion that was requested from parliament was actually for. They didn't know the purpose, but he voted for it. He's talking about school feeding when he approved it for infrastructure.
He's asking where are they? Where are they? Where is
and
the
he
infrastructure?
Doesn't see the
why are suppliers old?
We have only few schools
and all
that
the,
are
and all
still
the
doing
challenges,
double track. Massive infrastructure. Has he seen the STEM schools? Has he seen them? Has he seen the schools go to all the schools, the additional infrastructure that has resulted in double track season in most schools? He wouldn't know because he is consumed by propaganda, and that is what festers into their mission. So that's his business. And Esla was there and co. And when they were leaving, energy sector debt was over $2.4 billion. Facts. And so it wasn't to be paid. It wasn't to be managed. How did we manage it to sustain the lights on up till this time? How?
Well, they said they put Esla in place to clear the debt that was in the energy sector.
Okay. So
and
when the mortgage road fund, when the JM mortgaged the road funds, what did he mortgage it for?
No, so they said, if you hadn't mortgaged Esla, we wouldn't be facing some of the challenges we're facing in the energy sector today.
The lights are on in spite of all the global crisis and economic
there's a little doom
crashes and
there's small doom. So
no, it's doom CSE. We are saying it's doom CSE.
Yeah,
so we are still fixing them.
It's
and
going off and
on.
coming on.
Yes, we are fixing them and going on. When they are fixing it, definitely. Why will you have your car on the road when it's gone for maintenance?
Are you sure it's doom CSE?
Yes. Yes.
Or it is just doom so.
No,
if it's doom CSE, then it is maintenance.
We've been in Doomsaw for how many years? We've been in Doomsaw for 4 years.
Doom
running 4 years.
Doom CSE
and we are here.
Doom CSE by definition, if you want to go according to it, is maintenance.
Yes.
So when the ECG has to do maintenance on a transformer on this line, on that one, then they take it off and then they
restore it.
But what we're experiencing wasn't Doom CSE. There was a problem with getting fuel to power the plant. That's Doom so.
No, we're Doom CSE
That is Doom
and co. So that's what the report was. The minister said all these things, and that's it.
Okay.
And later we got fuel and all that. Now let's come to the issue of the fuel pricing. Yes, about 2% increase, which is true, because gold was having it at 14.92. And today it's gone to 15.22, and so that is about 2% increase. Is true because the global price in June was about $79-76 per barrel. In July is around $85. It's gone up, And of course, in the price build-up, you know, we are looking at the tax components, we are looking at the exchange rate depreciation factored in, and of course the original FOB prices of the fuel and all that. So all these things are factored in. And so definitely it will affect the price. And once the fuel price goes up, definitely it will affect everything that we use. We'll be talking about definitely exchange rate depreciation plays a part of it. This government put in the gold for oil policy to help get some stabilization in the forex markets. But because of the IMF engagement, there's a limit to which we can go with the gold for oil. And so at a point, even the Bank of Ghana had to suspend that policy a little because IMF needed to understand it, and Bank of Ghana had a threshold that they cannot go beyond and all that. So those were issues that we were confronted with. Definitely, exchange rate depreciation is part of it. But let's look at this data that I have before me, because we are going to have this engagement, and as he said, intellectual discourse. In intellectual discourse, data is important. Depreciation that occurred when Professor Mills took over in 2009. The CD to the dollar was 1 CD 20 pesos. By the time he ended in 2012, it was 1 CD 91 pesos. Depreciation of about 37%. And then second term, JM took over 1 CD 91 pesos. By the time he ended, it was 4 CDs 20 pesos. Depreciation of 55%. Take note, 55%.
55%.
Yes, 55% depreciation. Nanado took over 4 CDs 20 pesos. By the time he ended his first term, it was 5 CDs 68 pesos. A depreciation of 26%. Second term, this one, exogenous factors were not there, nothing. The DM1, no exogenous, Mills, no exogenous. So that is it. You know, we saw COVID came in March of 2020, and so the effect wasn't severe on the economy at that time. The subsequent years that we started feeling the pinch. Then, in second term of Nanado, it moved from 5 CD 68 pesos to 15 CD 70 pesos as we speak now. And so we are looking at depreciation of 64%. With all the exogenous, Russia, Ukraine, COVID, and all that. So what it tells me is that, and again, in the matters of depreciation, your reserve plays a very important role. Okay, so when President Mahama was leaving, our treasury, our reserve was about 6.1 billion. When we took over, it went up to about 9.2 billion, and as we speak, is around 6.6 billion. Okay, dollars. That's the reserve we have. It's not the best, but it's all in the face of all these global crunch. And dollar issue is demand and supply. Okay, so as we speak, the Bank of Ghana in this third quarter has decided it's going to pump about $120 million into the system, and it's going to be every fortnight. $20 million will come in to help, especially the importation of crude. Okay, those who are in the fuel importation market, so that they can have access readily to the dollar, and we can have continuous and sustained fuel availability. I have said it that every trotro driver, every taxi driver, every private car owner will prefer to have the fuel available on the market.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, the price may go up, but they want the fuel available.
We want it available, and we want it to be cheap.
Yes, but
we don't want it to kill us.
No,
because the prices are killing us.
Nobody wants it to kill you, but
we are buying petrol for 15 cedis a litre.
You are importing it seriously. So what do you do?
But you told us that gold for oil will solve all those problems.
Yes,
and the prices are still
going up. We went into IMF, and so we had to suspend.
In spite of all that, you still told us that gold for oil.
No,
but you people have been touting how the gold for oil has solved this, and it has done this, and it has done that.
Because it went to about 17, and then it came down to about 11. And when we went to IMF, there are some conditionalities. So there's a limit for gold for oil. And in fact, at a point, our Bank of Ghana in recent time have suspended the gold for oil. Because it got to a point, you cannot go beyond a certain amount. because of IMF issues.
Yes.
So we had to be careful.
The IMF is
about
placing a
that.
lot of
Yes.
restrictions.
Yes,
too.
because by beginning when it started, we went to about 17, came down to 11. Okay, so it has have an impact.
Why did
because
it be- why
every
did- why
month
did
we
it be-
needed about $400 million.
One would say that
You
it's
get it?
because
Uh-huh.
you didn't do things well. That's why you even went to 17 in the first place.
No.
Because they will ask you, where was it when you took it? And you took it all the way to 17 and you brought it to 15. And the 15 that you
You
brought,
brought
to,
it back to
yeah,
11.
and the 15
Yes.
that you've brought it to
Back
is
to
still
11.
is still way higher than it was when you originally took over. So how do you respond to people who ask you that?
I've just told you the depreciation rate of depreciation. I just told you 55% and then 64% with all the exogenous issues. So what is the
So everything
issues?
is COVID and Russia, Ukraine.
It had impact on us. Okay, our forex management and all, it had impact on us.
So all our problems in this country economically is COVID and
why
Russia,
not?
Ukraine.
It plays a key role.
There's no mismanagement whatsoever.
People are saying data shows there's some mismanagement and others. I wouldn't sit here and say no. You get it? Research has brought something, but they've not also said that the COVID and Russia-Ukraine did not impact Ghana. Okay? Former British Prime Minister Sunak was in British Parliament talking about Russia, Ukraine, and COVID. Joe Biden was in Congress talking about Russia, Ukraine, COVID. Okay, as we speak, it's even
Well, it will affect them more
COVID.
because
You get it?
they are
No, no.
they have more of an
No,
interest.
no.
in
Do you
that
know
war.
why? Do you know why?
The US
They are a production unit.
Yeah,
We
so they
are
have more
import.
interest.
We are import dependent, and once you are import dependent economy, that's difficult. That's why this government has taken the steps to do the 1D, 1F gradually, so that we have import substitution products here. Okay, it's a process and it's going on. You get it? So the countries that produce the items we import, they will be taking the more dollars more. The one we have, we send it to them. Is that not it?
Right.
So US, UK, and the effect will be different. But yes, we believe that gradually things will fall back in place. We are very confident about that. 2%, well, because we are in a deregulated market. In a deregulated market, when the prices go up, definitely the importers and co will put those margins on. That's what we are seeing. And we believe gradually, I hear the transport owners are saying they are going to increase fares by 15%. There's that gentleman agreement between the road transport ministry and the transport unions that when prices of transport items go beyond 10% cumulatively, they will increase the transport listing. So I believe if they check it from the last one and it's gone beyond 10%, it's right for them to increase it.
All right.
Because there should be a win-win situation.
Mr. Jantua, let me bring you in now. Fuel prices are going up. Of course, you've heard Mr. Georgia. He sees explanations to why we are where we are with regard to fuel prices. Do you take consolation from that?
How can I take consolation from that? When George was talking about some kind of substitution, that they are building certain policies they are putting in place so that we don't have to import the way we import. Don't we have a tour here? Don't we have a refinery here? Couldn't we use our own to produce our own? When they came in 2016, wasn't that the first thing they should have looked at? To make sure that the millions of dollars we are taking out to import refined petroleum products, we would at least do some for ourselves. And then we sit here and then we allow a Chinese company to come and build a refinery next door to ours. Is that not capital flight? Is that not capital flight? Because whatever fuel they are refining, are they not going to sell it in cedis? Will they not change it into dollars, the small dollars on our economy, and take it out? Will they not? Between 2016 and now, what exploration have we done to get even more crude, to say we are refining? What have we done? And isn't it obvious to any government when you come in that fuel is a mainstream item that causes inflation and causes things to go up? And the Petrol price is like a yo-yo, up and down, up and down. Oh, we took it to 17. We brought it to 11. It's now at 15. We need stable prices. That is what we're looking for. Stable prices so we can plan. It's now 15. It's going to affect everything. What is food inflation today? Is it still not high? Mm-hmm. Last year, we spent 300 million importing onions from other countries, Nigeria and Burkina Faso. Could we not keep that money here? So where's the plan? What plan have they put in place to make sure the fuel prices are affordable? How much is fuel a liter in America today? 91 cents.
Yeah.
91 cents.
A liter.
Ours is what? $1. $1. Their own running mate told us, if the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. And this has got to do with exchange rate depreciation of CD. It's got to do with it. So let's twiddle our thumbs and let's twiddle our toes. And let's clap for ourselves for things we've done that isn't helping the economy. Tell me, really, what are some of the things that have been put in place that has helped this economy? George talks about COVID.
Yes.
How many regions were shut down in Ghana?
2.
2. UK. They are the 3rd country in Europe that was affected with COVID. 3rd. And look at the quantum of people
Third
who
most
died.
impact.
Yes, impact.
Yeah.
Look at the quantum of people who died. We only 2 regions though. How many months were these regions closed? How many months was Ghana closed up?
It was Greater Accra and Greater Kumasi.
And what happened after that? What about the other part? Were they not working? Was everybody at home? Was everybody left at home? People didn't work? That if Accra and Kumasi is shut down, means the whole Ghana is shut down. Is that what we're talking about? Please. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to handle the economy effectively from the promises they gave us. Petrol prices are something that are perennial. They go up and come down. They should have been able to plug the hole. What is it that causes petrol prices to jump like a yo-yo? What is it? Plug the hole. And that is what we are looking for in the next government who comes in. Plug the holes. Things that we need to do to plug the holes, do it. And have a conversation with the people. That is missing. That conversation is missing. Because when you read this, what do you call it? This Afrobarometer. Some of the points made in there, the youth, some of them, they said we would prefer government to be accountable than to be doing things. Government to be accountable than to be doing things. Has the MPP government been accountable to the people? Have they been? Have they been? Look, we are running a country. This country is all we have. It's all we have. And we should be able to listen to the people when the people shout. Look, I heard something the president said yesterday. I'm not sure it was yesterday or day before yesterday. When he was given the revised long-term national development plan. He said, I don't believe in all these long-term national development plans. Marxist and socialist ideas. How can that be? How can that be a Marxist and socialist idea? How? A plan for a country. Is that what you call it? Is that how you look at it? Has party manifestos in this Fourth Republic, has it really helped this country? Party manifestos. If for nothing at all, when another government comes, they don't continue what the other government left off. Even when it's their own party, they don't continue. Is that not causing financial loss to the state? We need to have a situation where we all sit down and make sure that certain things that have gone on in the past, we do not repeat it. We need to commit ourselves to a situation where if my party comes in and the MPP, NDC has started a certain product, we are committed to finish that product. that project. So if it so happens that we have projects to do, we need to finish those projects before we even start our own. We need that commitment. And even the Constitution tells us perpetual succession. What do you call it? The fundamental, what do you call it in the Constitution? That chapter. It tells you when a government comes in place, you need to finish the projects of the previous government. Do we do it? No, we don't do it. And what does that mean? We don't show respect to the people who put us there. We don't show respect to them. So let us twiddle around and think that 15 cedis is a good price. Look, the driver, the trotro drivers, what are they saying? The trotro drivers are saying that they will not go back to the Ministry of Transport to find out whether they should go on strike or not. They are going to do their own thing and go and strike, whether they like it or not. How do we live that way? Because it's going to affect people's livelihoods. Even when petrol prices were 11 cedis, it was affecting people's livelihoods. And this is going to affect people's livelihoods, especially with food prices still high.
Right.
So let us twiddle our toes and let's twiddle our fingers.
All right. You're
and it's up to 7 December. 7 December will decide.
Yeah, indeed it will. And you're still listening to The Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM. My guests in the studio today, the Honorable Ashiama. He is the former Member of Parliament for the Buem constituency. George Ayisi is Director of Communications for the National Disaster Management Organization. And Mr. Kwame Jantwa is a member of the Convention People's Party. Yesterday, the Supreme Court deferred ruling on an injunction application against the anti-gay bill. There was an injunction which was applied for by Richard Delaskai and Dr. Amanda Odo. Yeah, we all thought the Supreme Court was going to rule on the injunction application, but they said they will wait till they hear the substantive matter and rule on it, and then they will also give us their ruling on the injunction. Mr. Isid, on this one, I'll begin with you.
No, it's okay.
Yes. What do you make of the Supreme Court's decision? Because one would imagine that, this is an injunction application, an injunction on the work that Parliament, is supposed to do, by law, and an injunction has been placed on it. So if you are going to defer the ruling till when you hear the substantive matter, you are essentially sort of granting the application. This is what some people have been saying. What are your thoughts?
Before I touch on that, I think 7th December will definitely come, and Ghanaians will speak.
Yes.
And life goes on, right?
Whether you win or lose, life goes on.
Life goes on.
Yeah.
And I'm bet that we're winning this election.
Sure.
We're beating. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Okay? It doesn't matter.
But it matters what Ghanaians think, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
It matters. But they are going to make the decision.
It doesn't matter what anybody thinks.
Who doesn't...
But it matters what Ghanaians think.
Somebody who doesn't
right?
belong to the MPP and has his party and is no focus on building his party, he can focus on that way. We are building our party. Okay, so that is another matter. So we need to move on with that. Yes, the Supreme Court's Amanda Odoi and the last guy have made that distance. And definitely, it's the Supreme Court. They say the law lies in the bosom of the judges, right?
Yes, yes.
Those people who are the law lords. They've studied the whole thing, and they feel they must put a hold on this ruling till that issue, the substantive matter, is heard. The lawyers may be able to give us a better understanding and appreciation of why that and whether it makes legal sense. If it does, who am I? I'm not a lawyer, but I listen to what they will say. The
People are saying that this is just another of the delay tactics.
Well,
because the government or the head of government, the president, is not in favor of signing their bill. And so this is all part of a grand scheme, so to speak, to delay
the executive doesn't control
getting the bill
to his
front.
The executive doesn't
This is commentary people are making.
The legislature, and so the legislature, they are supposed to be independent bodies. The judiciary is taking this decision. The president says he wants that issue that has been raised in court resolved.
Yes.
Before that will inform him, because according to the president, there are constitutional matters, there are human rights matters in the matter before the courts. You get it? And as a human rights and constitutional lawyer, he doesn't want to be seen to be flouting the tenets of the Constitution.
Right.
So he wants the courts to give a ruling.
Right.
Because that ruling will inform his decision to either sign or refer it back to Parliament that he's not going to sign.
The president told us that the matters were coming to court even before the matters were filed in court. You know that, right?
What?
The president told us about the matters in court even before.
Yeah, so maybe
got
he
to know
was,
that
maybe
there are
he was
matters in
privy
court.
to things that were going on.
Okay.
You know, the last guy, they had started processes. Their lawyers had started the processes. Okay.
And they had informed him.
And so maybe he got wind of it.
Okay.
You get, because no, people were objecting, and when people had taken steps that they were going to block that anti-gay bills and all that.
Right.
You get, there were groups that were making that, including feminist Amanda Odoy, doctor. You get it. She's in somewhere Canada and co, but the lawyers are representing her. So that's the due process that is following. And so if that is the case, the president is there. Once that ruling is given, he's ready to sign or to state his position that he's not going to sign. You get it? If he's not going to sign, Parliament would then be compelled to invoke other alternatives. You get it? And they can, I think they have a right to some two-thirds or something to,
two-thirds majority to pass it.
Two-thirds majority to pass that bill.
Okay.
And since it was a unanimous this thing on the voting for that bill, I think they can, if the president doesn't sign, Parliament can approve it, and then it becomes law.
All right. Honorable.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the Supreme Court's decision from the last time?
It is what it is.
What is it?
MPP government is telling us that he supports LGBTQ.
The MPP government has not said that.
My brother. That's why I didn't mention human being. The MPP government.
They've not said that.
So if we are saying that you support and you route things through this way, now the court is saying that they'll take their time. It means they don't see it to be an urgent issue, isn't it?
Yeah, but the court is not the MPP government.
They don't see it to be an urgent issue.
The court is not the MPP government, and the MPP government is not the
I
court.
have been in
the court is an
Parliament
independent body.
When we ran government memorandums through a what? Emergency. We have a word that we use.
Certificate of emergency. Of agency.
We run them. Even if it comes to about loan, sometimes we close around 12 midnight.
No, but in this particular instance, people have gone to court on the matter.
There are
People have gone
issues
to
with
court
the
on the
whole
matter.
process. Letters emanating from the presidency to the parliament and all this. When you look at that picture, what does that picture tell you? Something that has never happened before. That a letter emanated that they should desist of sending any memo of a sort to the presidency.
You cease and desist.
Yes. So what do that tell you? We say MPP approves LGBTQ.
But the MPP has not.
Period. I said this is how I'm going to make my campaign.
The president
the
president is on record.
I said if the government fails, he is hurt about that. He should let the Supreme Court move on a certificate of what? Agency and pass it.
The government can't compel the Supreme Court to do anything.
I didn't say they should compel. I said they are sending money. What happens to Asin of MP?
The courts are independent.
I said,
the judiciary is independent.
I know. I didn't
and not
say,
subject to the influence of
say
anybody.
the president should tell them to pass the judgment for him.
That's what he said.
Period. In the interest of the nation. This is what the people are saying. That alone, it is what it is. Daniel Kwesi Ashama, I'll campaign that MPP accept LGBTQ.
Dr. Bawumia says he does not support it.
I said MPP. I didn't mention Dr. Bawumia's name.
Nando has said he does not
No. I didn't mention anybody's name.
They are the two heads of the government.
There is a brand. There is a brand that is in the helm of affairs. And I am telling you that MPP, by this statement that has come, has accepted Period.
But the court is not MPP.
I
The
didn't
Supreme
say-
Court is not
I said
MPP.
I didn't say anything infringing upon the court.
The Supreme no, but
we are
no,
we
but I
are.
asked you about the decision of the Supreme
Let
Court,
me
and you are
ask you-
inferring it to me
I
that
said-
the MPP supports
let
LGBT.
me- let me ask you
the
this
Supreme
thing.
Court is not
No,
LGBT.
do you know? Maybe your time
The
is
Supreme
finished.
Court is not MPP.
I said, oh, I don't want to go there. You leave it there. I said, this is how I'm going to campaign. This is how I am going to, as a citizen of this country.
But is that
If you know your child-
is that accurate campaigning or is
Very,
or is
very,
propaganda
because
or is
the
propaganda campaign?
pastors, the bishops, the chiefs have said that no. What is preventing the what? The MPP government to give us or to ensure that we have a finality of this issue? What is preventing them? When the churches, the bishops, the Muslims, the traditionalists, Ghanaians are saying that no, pass because we don't like, and the whole thing is taking a meandering strategy. What do you want us to say?
Court
If
processes
the
are preventing
government,
them. Court
if
processes.
I said, oh, I didn't say about court who appoints the chief justice. I don't want to go there. I told you, please. I don't want to go there.
Then don't go
Now
there.
there is something. You see,
So Mahama was controlling
if
the
somebody
Chief Justice
listen, no,
then.
if somebody told you that, if somebody told you that it is the 77 billion that was printed,
Yeah.
it is because the foreigners are leaving. So we use the money to buy their investment. It means we have the investment, isn't it? Now, when the Bank of Ghana come and tell you that we are 55% negative equity, what does that tell you? So where are the investment we purchase? These people are truly incompetent. They told us that the COVID, they spent 21 billion. Is that not it? 21 billion, that is the audit report that we have had.
Yes.
And they said they use 11 billion for COVID, 10 billion to support the budget, isn't it?
Yes.
Why are we crying about COVID again? Why are we taking COVID money again? Why? Tell me. The audit report came after we've suspended or everything is gone bad. Do you get right? These are very incompetent bunch of people that are misusing our resources. And as my honorable the council said, 7th December, Ghanaians will decide, not
Okay.
NDC, not MPP. Ghanaians will decide. Because we have a government that tends to be saprophyte, sapping our blood like something, buying all our properties like something. Did you hear Chinia at GHS? Did you hear him yesterday?
Well,
Chinia.
he defended himself.
Yes, did you hear him? Not the defender. He said he has bought the state properties. He said it. If you don't let me send you the video because you are not at GH.
I'm there.
Do you get it right?
Don't worry, I was
So
there.
these are the people. These are property owning democracy. Sell everything, Ghana, take it. And it has not started today. Why is it that only when MPP comes to power, the country is always looking for bailout?
Those who sold the lands.
That's looking for bailout.
Okay.
Buzia look for bailout. Kufo look for debt forgiveness. Nanado the West, debt forgiveness. Rollins didn't do so. Atamus didn't do so. Mahama didn't do so. Why is it that when MPP tradition comes to power, they cause the financial sector to
Rollins
disarray?
put us into
Do you get it right?
And we went to Hippic.
These are the people. So to me,
Very well.
the people of Ghana will decide.
We'll decide. Very well.
Come December 7th.
Very well. Mr. Jantua, let me bring you in now. You're the legal brain in the studio. You're the legal practitioner in the studio. What do you make of the Supreme Court's decision?
You know, the president has a seat in Rich Church, doesn't he? That's where he attends church, doesn't he? That's his church.
Rich Church.
Yes.
Well,
It's
okay.
his church.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of us go to church every Sunday, don't we?
We do.
When you take the Bible, you go to Romans 2. Romans 2, I think verse 3 to 4. It deals with homosexuality. It deals with it. Go and read it. It deals with it. So if you tell me you're a Christian and such comes in front of you and you can't deal with it, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to tell me?
Blessing gays.
Please, you said I haggled you. Don't haggle me. Huh? If you feel that you believe in the Christian faith, and the Christian faith goes against homosexuality, but you want someone else to decide for you, so be it. So be it. Look, my opinion, and it is my opinion, why the Supreme Court has ruled this way, they don't want to interfere with the work of Parliament.
But haven't they interfered with the work of Parliament by not ruling on this? Because
Well,
there's an injunction application on a process of Parliament.
Yes,
which
but-
is transferring the bill after it has been passed to the... It's a process of Parliament.
Well, they said they would want to deal with the entire thing.
Yes.
That is their decision. Yes, it would have been good if they had dealt with the injunction, but they decided not to.
Not to.
Perhaps the sensitivity of it, of the entire process and what we are dealing with, is such that they would rather deal with everything at once. That is the decision of the court. And so what can we do? Take that decision, and hopefully the outside thing is that maybe President Akufo-Addo does not want to be the one to sign this thing in his term because he has external friends who would question him. Maybe. So they are postponing it for the next government that comes in. Well, happily or gladly. Dr. Baumia says he doesn't agree with this homosexual thing. Chematin has said the same. I haven't heard from Cheddar. Any other, I haven't heard. But these two have said, President Mahama too has said it. So these three have said it. So let's hope. Maybe it's even good for us that it's not President Akufo-Addo who signs, but the next president who comes signs. Because they've all said to us, the three have all said to us that they don't agree to it. So let's see.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll wrap up the weekly review segment here. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us in the studio. Honorable Ashama, it's been great having you here in the studio.
Good.
Thank you very much for coming. Former MP for
Please,
Buim, member
please,
of the NDC.
Please, buy some breakfast for George. I think he needs breakfast.
Mr. George AC,
Are you sure he doesn't have money?
thank you very much for coming. Mr. AC.
He has money.
It's always a pleasure to be here. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Mr. Kwame Jantwa, a member of the CPP.
Always good to be here.
Thank you very much for coming. This is where we will draw the curtains down on today's edition of GH Today. Thank you. Sorry. Morning Star.
We understand.
Yeah, Morning Star.
That shows you are a hard worker.
You are the face of GH.
Morning
You
Star.
and Sir.
All round. Morning Star. It was a slip of tongue. It was a... man, can you hear crowd? Thank you very much for tuning in to the Morning Star on Star 103.5 FM and Empire 102.7 FM in Takoradi. My name is Lantam Papanko. Enjoy your weekend.